Back in 1966, England were crowned world champions after beating Germany on their home soil. That was the last time the Three Lions had vanquished a familiar foe in the knockout stage of a major competition. That all changed a few days ago when England defeated Joachim Löw's Germany 2-0 in Rome. That game served two important lessons to all of us. Number one, Germany are a fading force and need time to return to their usual best. Number two, Gareth Southgate has taken a lot of criticism, including from us, but the English manager got his tactics spot on. While many people would say that the English have had a far easier route towards the final than most sides, it still doesn't mean that they didn't have to work for it. With a meeting at Denmark set to take place later this week, England are within touching distance of sealing a date with destiny featuring Italy. Of course, it's not going to be an easy task in the semi-final. Jasper Hjulmand's side are everyone's second favourite team in the tournament after mounting quite some comeback following Christian Eriksen's cardiac arrest in their opening encounter with Finland. Hey everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Goalside, where we try to talk about football from a rather different perspective. Today, we're going to discuss England's chances of finally going all the way in a major competition and do something that the previous generations have failed to do. We're going to discuss how Southgate has managed to get the best out of his players, and we're also going to talk about the players who can bring it home for the English. Before we start our discussion, make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and make sure to have your say in the comments section. A strong defence. As the old adage goes, strikers win games, defence wins titles. And it's the latter part of the adage that's proving to be too accurate to ignore. The Three Lions have not conceded a single goal in the entire tournament. After missing out the first couple of games due to injury, Harry Maguire has formed quite the partnership with John Stones. The Man United captain is currently playing on another level, and his ability to marshal the defence and bark orders at the fullbacks has paid dividends. While speaking to reporters earlier this week, the 27-year-old admitted that he likes to push Luke Shaw throughout the 90 minutes and wants his club teammate to help the side in attack. Shaw has been one of England's standout players in the tournament, notching 2 assists in the 4-0 win over Ukraine. A lot of this is down to the fact that he doesn't have to worry a lot about defending all the time, due to the Maguire-Stones pairing. Playing in front of the Wembley crowd is definitely going to give the defence extra motivation to continue playing as a watertight unit. Taking in criticism and proving doubters wrong. One of the few things that we've heard and said about England throughout this tournament is that they're not creative enough, not positive enough, and not brave enough to take the game to the opposition. Since winning the World Cup all those decades ago, England's big tournament story is one of near miss and several average displays. One golden generation was replaced by another without even a single final appearance. There were high hopes back in the 2002 World Cup, with the likes of Michael Owen, David Beckham, Paul Scholes and others at the peak of their powers, until they met Ronaldo and Brazil. While their opening displays at the Euros weren't memorable affairs, Southgate's men got the job done. The current England squad might not be more talented or boast larger-than-life personas of those who donned the white jerseys in the past, but this team knows how to grind out results. The squads of old might have struggled against the plucky Ukrainians, but not this one. That win was of total control and not once did they relent. So what's happened here? Is Southgate a genius? Southgate was not the greatest player of his time, and he might not even be considered a great manager. However, one thing that he's got spot on is that he understands the team better than his predecessors. The former player has managed to field the right starting 11 in every single game. Not only that, he's been able to manage his players in a manner where whoever is given a cameo appearance does what's required of them. Southgate has brought a very different approach towards how the English play. Both Maguire and Stones are ball-playing centre-backs. Gone are the days where your sweeper would hoof the ball towards the other end of the pitch and expect an 8-foot striker to head the ball in the top corner. England now play a more imaginative brand of football from the back. They might not look lively in the 14th zone, but they get the job done. As long as the defence holds firm, the attacking unit can come up with something. Plus, it always helps to have options like Jadon Sancho, Jack Grealish and Marcus Rashford on the bench. Southgate might still not have won over the locals, but his work is being admired in Europe. Playing without pressure. One of the biggest issues with previous England squads was that the players were always unable to play to their potential due to the pressure that they had on their shoulders. On top of that, managers always decided to go for tactics that were constricting to say the least. While Southgate has also been criticised for playing with two defensive midfielders, that hasn't really impacted individual performances all that much. While initially the team struggled with playing a more expansive brand of football, they're now playing more openly, and that also has to do with Maguire's return from injury. In the two knockout games they've played, England have scored 6 goals and have done so by playing a brand of football that the country hasn't seen in ages, especially during the knockout stages of a competition. Resurgent Raheem. During the second half of the 2020-21 campaign, Raheem Sterling was effectively displaced by Phil Foden at the left flank. Pep Guardiola rarely used the Liverpool Academy graduate, so it was expected that the winger would struggle for minutes at the Euros. That has, however, not been the case at all, with the Man City man leading from the front, scoring goals and providing assists. He's become an influential member of the starting 11 and has formed quite a telepathic relationship with Luke Shaw. In a team that's seen a lot of rotation, Sterling and Harry Kane have been mainstays in the starting 11. It's not surprising since both men command the manager's trust, and Sterling has benefited a lot from a change of scenery. In each game, Sterling's sharpness, speed and skill have brought a spark to the team. The upside to his not being an automatic selection at City is that he seems fresher than many players, which is not what an opposition defender wants. When Kane was not scoring in the group stage, he was still providing for the team, and Southgate didn't need to worry in the knowledge that Kane would come good at some point in the tournament, and he had a firing Sterling who scored the goals and sent England into the knockout stages. Denmark are vulnerable down the flanks, which is something that Sterling would benefit a lot from. Wales made things hard for the Danes in the early stages of their last 16 game, so you can expect the City man to be a real thorn in their side. Sancho and Grealish coming good. Jack Grealish has sat out a couple of games and has only had one start to his name, but the Aston Villa man has been quite an agent of change for his team whenever called upon. It was his positive cameo that helped England defeat Germany 2-0, so you can expect the mercurial talent to be Southgate's trump card. He might not always start games, but Grealish has not shown any signs of displeasure at his status within the national setup. Jadon Sancho was also not used by Southgate early on, but the new Manchester United signing gave us a glimpse of his immense potential during the win over Ukraine. The talented winger completed 4 dribbles and loves to do quick 1-2 passing, which gives an added dimension to the English attack. We expect Sancho to start the game against Denmark since he has the ability to torment defences due to his ability on the ball. Kane finding form at the right time. When Harry Kane scored the opening goal of the game against Ukraine from a sublime pass, it was clear that the Tottenham man was back to his best. Kane had been struggling in front of goal, devoid of service for the most part of the Euros, but his goal against Germany indicated that the 27-year-old was getting back to his usual best. During his 72 minutes on the pitch against Ukraine, Kane had 4 shots, won 3 aerial duels, took 33 touches and did everything we normally see him do on an average Premier League weekend. But most importantly, he looked very happy and perhaps a little bit relieved to have found his golden touch. He has 37 goals for the national side and 9 in big tournaments. The Kane train is off and running. Denmark will not be easy opponents, but England are set to play to their strengths against them. Kasper Hjulmand's men don't concede a lot of goals, but expect Southgate to best them. Expect Sancho and Sterling to run rings around the flank and expect Kane to add to his tally. This England team is a unique blend of grit and talent. They might not be considered the golden generation yet, but who cares about these tags as long as you lift some silverware?